check Twitch. Yay! It shows everyone. All right.
Woo.
I know you guys. Yeah, you guys have been the podcasting buddies this week.
That's right.
Okay.
I see Mew.
Okay.
I see you.
I see Mew.
All right. I need. Where'd my show notes go? There we go. To the top.
I
to the
open
top,
this
to the top.
in separate.
Oh, I need. There we go. Make sure. Can you guys hear this? All right. Cool.
Yep.
Just making sure.
Wow. That was loud.
It was.
So, well, that's why I played
It
it
was
now
loud.
instead of on the thing. All right.
On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
Exactly.
we discuss
All the
McCullough
things.
keeping people alive in D&D.
Yeah.
Mew Cow's room is looking fantastic. Fezgig being a Superman of podcasts, and Tetsemi spreadsheets. That's this week
That's
on the
ac-
AIE Podcast.
You're right. Actually, I did keep some. Yeah, because I tend to play the healer.
All right. Who's leading the show?
Oh, it's my monkey
one.
show.
All right.
All right. Are we ready?
Did we get confirmation?
Yes. Well, no, we haven't yet. I'm sorry. It's on Tet Switch.
Also,
Which I almost said Tet Switch, which then
which is you.
mean it's on
You, yeah.
All right. There we are. Yes.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Right.
Yay.
Okay, excellent. All
Cass
right.
says he can see and hear us.
Thank you, guys. All right. Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Get social in WoW Classic.
Swoop rally nears.
Greymore gives you more.
Things are getting ridiculous on Goblin.
And we have Marcus and Fezgig here to talk about AIE Where to Start event.
All that and more coming up now.
Now?
Now?
Now.
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 Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 345 of the podcast celebrating you, the Alea Octa Est gaming community. The Die Has Been Podcast. I am McCullough. To my left is Muko.
Greetings, guildies.
And to my right and downstairs is Tetsemi.
It's all working. It's all on fire. No, we're good.
This is fine.
Oh, that,
This is
yeah,
fine.
This is all fine.
Yeah.
And this week we're joined by our very special guests, Marcus and Fezgig, who are here to talk to us about the AIE Where to Start event. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Howdy.
Awesome. Well, before we start with the news and all the other goodness, we're going to find out what people have been up to this week. And I like to go alphabetically. So that means Fezgig, you get a start.
Fantastic. So, big kayaker. So the weather has permitted this weekend for my wife and I to get out on the kayaks yesterday. And then today, same weather opportunity. So we did some hiking in a wildlife preserve, and I rounded it out by building a treadmill just before this show. So with the gyms kind of being not so friendly for gathering, we've decided to put some basement.
That's kind of like a wild man, Iron Man.
Yeah, maybe. So in game though, and I did share this on the podcast, the Working Class Nerds, but so it may be a recap for some of you if you've listened to that.
Might have heard of
I
that.
participated in the WoW. Participated in the WoW Guild pet adoption event on this last Sunday with Cy and Gusty, hosted the Horde side, and then I hosted the Alliance side. Tons of pets went to homes on both faction sides. We had a lot of fun there. Cy and Gusty did some pet battling with Cy doing a whole full team of left sharks, and
Yes,
Gusty
yes.
and Gusty doing a full team of I can't remember the bugs that she had, but basically
The void bugs?
beetles. Yeah. So the other thing that I've been doing in game, and I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here, but those of you who are playing Warcraft in this expansion, corrupted gear, I stripped it all off my gear, and so I was sick of having to move whenever the eye popped up when we were raiding, and I was like, no, I'm in my perfect spot. I don't want to move from this spot. So I stripped everything off. Was pretty excited when they launched the new buying corruptions back that you can from Mother the last couple of weeks. So I've been buying those back and reapplying, and oddly enough, of course, the little people don't come out of the void anymore to try to hurt me, but I still have the boss. So that's been a nice nice add-on. The I'm not really a completionist, but I do like to maybe complete a zone when I can, when it comes to pet battling. And so I've been collecting some of the wild pets in Coltiris, finished off the zones, 3 zones, and moving on to Zoldazar this next couple weeks here. But and then if there's any engineers out there, this is old school, but you got to have one. I already had one. I've had one on my horde tune for quite a long time, but gathered all of the mats and created my Jeeves finally on my Alliance character, my engineer. So
Excellent.
that's can be very handy to have.
It is, yeah.
And then finally, I was able to kill Nazoth, the Corruptor, and LFR on my Horde tune and my Alliance Hunter. And I don't want to start a fight here, but my LFR team on the Horde side, when I popped in, had 10 stacks of determination. And there were bones everywhere, guys. The whole floor was covered in bones. And we kept wiping until we got a group that was either knew the mechanics, because the mechanics really are, the fight really is pretty simple. But if you don't follow mechanics, it can definitely take you down pretty quickly. So 10 stacks, wiping several times. We finally got them down on the Horde side. And then I flipped over to my Alliance tune and did the same thing on my Alliance. We got 4 stacks of determination and we're able to down Nazoth. So I'm not saying that the Alliance is better at taking down Nazoth.
We know you have a bias.
I actually can explain what's going on. So what it is the Horde are more persistent and don't give up, but the Alliance quickly give up if it's not going to work out for them. And then you just happen to come across the group that finally got it done. So that explains it.
Got it. Yeah.
I love that explanation because I do love my brethren on the Horde side. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much me in the last week, Kala.
Awesome. 1 second. I had to respond to some smack there. All right.
Uh-oh.
And alphabetically, it's the smack man himself, Marcus. What have you been up to in and out of game?
So in game, I've been working on hard mode Revan and Temple of Sacrifice for probably about, I think this is week 9. We're finally getting to the 3rd floor, which is the final floor, part A. So the first part is you beat on Revan and there's these aberrations and they pulse. And when they're pulsing, each person on the raid team needs to look at them. So somebody's saying 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And if you don't look at them, off the platform you go. So now so it's a wipe. So now we're finally getting through that part of the fight onto the final fight, part of the fight where he drops this, he calls it the sacrificial sphere that drops to the middle of the room. I kind of think it's a little silly. You should be killing Revan, but whatever. So then you just stand there and you have to kill this thing that's pulsating. And the longer it goes on, the harder it hits. And these aberrations keep going on and around the room. It's crazy. My Saturday night team, we're working on hard mode Isaacs, and we finally got to phase 3 after 2 weeks. So it's a lot of progression. But then in the midst of all this wonderful world, I decided I wanted to cook a steak on my CPU of my computer. I was streaming.
Sure it's not well done.
It was. I'm playing. So I'm streaming, and my frame rates are terrible. and even on my own PC. So my video is terrible, plus the streams is terrible. I'm like, what is going on? So there's a program called MSI Afterburner where it watches all of like your temperatures and everything that's happening. And it wasn't on my computer for some reason because I'm like, what do I need to have it for right now? My computer's a beast. Well, I put it on and my CPU's temperature was 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, God.
Oh,
boil
yeah.
water with that thing.
That's going to overcook that steak.
Well, so it did. And so I ordered a new motherboard and power supply prior to, because I was having a power issue. Well, I replaced it and the water cooling pump must have went. So it was frying it. So when I pulled the CPU off, you could see that it was like, it's usually gold underneath there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say it was more of a brass color.
Oh my God.
So I just fixed it. I drove to Boston to the Micro Center, which was like an hour and 45 minutes from Rhode Island. And I bought an i9 9900K and another motherboard because they said that. I brought the motherboard with me and he's like, look, it's cooked. He's pointing down. He goes,
Yeah.
See these pins? They're cooked. And I'm like, I just bought that motherboard. Sorry. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been playing on my laptop, which if anybody has a laptop and knows, the keyboard on a laptop is not as intuitive as all of our real keyboards.
No.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is I started our guild on Call of Duty's Modern Warfare. It's grown pretty well. I think we're up to like 10 members of the clan and or group, whatever. So if anybody listening plays Call of Duty, message me and come play.
Excellent. All right. And Mute, what have you been up to?
I'm looking at Fez's pick.
I know, it's amazing.
Well, for me, I guess I can get the WoW stuff out of the way. So, have been doing raiding as usual. Looks like no, he's just very still. I was gonna say it looked like Ted's froze,
No,
but
I'm just trying to fix the Twitch stream embed.
He's busy.
Listening.
Yeah. I'll let him talk about the FERT stuff. But for horseshoes and hand grenades, we've been doing a little bit of tweaking. There's a new, leadership group now. Instead of Ilmar was the raid leader, and after 7 years, he said, I want to just be a player again. So he delegated off to a leadership group, which I've been helping with, and they've been doing some little minor tweaks here and there. But we did a bit of mythic battle for Zarlor because we figured that would be a nice challenge, and we also want to see if we can get to Jaina and get that nice mount off of her, the water elemental. You actually get to ride the water elemental. And we took down a heroic N'Zoth for the third time, so that was nice. And I've actually been playing a bit more WoW than I have in the past. I think I might have pushed through. Yeah. I had to push through the burnout. It's. I kind of took a break and was just doing the bare minimum, but I finally got back into it. And I think part of it too is, and one of the good things about being someone that's into alts is you kind of have to cycle through your alts sometimes.
Yeah.
And just sometimes something might fit better. And I had learned, I want to say like a month or two ago, that Prot Warrior was just not doing well at the end of N'Zoth's raid area. Yeah, it's
not on heroic or higher.
Yeah, because the magic damage is just so high, and warriors have one defense, and it lasts like 20 seconds, and then you have to wait like 2 or 3 minutes for it to come back. So every now and then you can survive a bit, but then you're getting pummeled the rest of the time with all the magic damage. It's just constant corruption magic damage. So I first tried the druid, which it did work better. We actually got our first heroic kill when I was tanking on the druid, but he survived because of his hit points, I think, not because of any kind of magical anything. So then I said, well, who can actually do really good against magic? Well, paladins. So I geared up and got my paladin up to level 15 cloak. Replaced. Speaking of engineering, I replaced mining with engineering because the paladin was a blacksmith. So it feels weird to me to not have engineering on a character, like not just one per side. Like it's weird not having like at all. So it's like I'll let Mew Cow do the mining gathering because he's a high mountain, and high mountain they mine faster, and they also get bonus stuff for fishing and when they're killing animals. So he can get all that, and he does a much better job. He's also a druid. Swoop down, grab it, and run. So yeah, I've just been feeding the paladin and getting all and it's just so much nicer to have that extra engineering stuff on the paladin because you get the boost and the glider and all the fun toys, and I need to do Jeeves on that one now. So I've already done it a couple times. That's quite the challenge. Getting all of Jeeves together because it's the old school part where you have to craft this part and this part and this part, and that's on top of the fact that you still have to go and find whatever random gnome robotic gnome is over in that one place, and for a chance he might drop the Jeeves recipe. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's the WoW stuff that's been keeping me busy. But I've definitely been spending most of my time in Fallout 76. You might notice I'm kind of into Fallout, but a little bit. But it is a surprisingly different game now. It's where like when ESO when they did their redo, like how much of a different game that was. It's like they realized, people would like to play this if we made this better. Okay, let's make it better. Oh, hey, there you go. People are playing again. Wow, funny how that works. But yeah, it's just been a completely different game. And the thing is you haven't had to pay anything for this new game. It's just there. Like they just fixed it. I've been playing with Mrs. Mew and playing with Aludra as well when we can match up times. And other just whatever guildies I can come across, and just really enjoying everything. The Foshnot event was a lot of fun. Foshnot, however you say it, where you're basically trying to shoo away Father Winter, saying we have had enough of you. We'd like to enjoy the spring and summer. So
yeah, I've never talked about that. Awesome.
Yep, and that's probably about it for me.
How hard is it to get into the game?
It's easy.
It is so much easier now.
Okay.
In fact,
Marcus, you played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah,
you're fine. No, but then they redid the beginning stuff too, because in fact I checked it out last night. I went on to a new tune and tried to see how it is, and it's like I said, it's a completely different experience. The whole new player experience has been redone as well. Yeah. It's not just one of the problems of the initial game is you walk out of the vault and they're like, okay, have fun. Yeah. And you're like, but what do I do?
Right.
Just go out there.
Oh, that's how Zelda Breath of the Wild was.
Yeah.
They let you kind of out of the opening area and they're like, all right, good luck. And you're like, what? I need a little bit of direction, just a little. But the thing, so for me with Fallout, the only thing I don't like about all the Fallout games is the VAT system, where you like zoom in, you shoot the guy 3 times in the head, and he's still alive, and it takes 1 hit point away from him, and then the gun breaks. Is it the same way in 76?
I mean, if you're a bad player, maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'm a terrible player.
No, it's actually they did some tweaking. Like VATS is just a style of play now, especially because in Fallout 4 they kind of played with it, but it's still like when you go into VATS in the regular single player games, it kind of stops or slows time. But in Fallout 76, there's no stop. Like everything's going on as you're doing it. So like you have to have a build specifically for VATS. So because of that, they've actually leaned more on just standard gunplay. Yeah. And melee. Like they actually put a bit more effort into melee. In fact, my current high character is melee focused and can sneak and walk up and smack someone in the head with a bat and they're dead. Yeah. So it's this game is really good about letting you put whatever kind of build you want together. You can go straight into guns. You don't have to touch VATS at all. You can have raise your accuracy outside of VATS and not need it at all. Like I don't have to use it at all if I don't want to. It's just convenient because one of the neat things with when you're doing melee is you kind of teleport to the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like knock them in the head. But yeah, no, it's not really handholdy, but it's enough to like, hey, there's some strange people waiting outside the vault. Go talk to them. Oh, hey, you just came out of that vault. Yeah, some stuff, weird stuff's going on around here. Why don't you go look into that?
So it prompts you, not really handholdy, but kind of gives you the prompts.
Yeah, like you can still just run suddenly east if you really want to, and just for whatever reason. But like it's giving you stuff, and it's giving you multiple prompts. Like there's a lot of fun things. And one of the things I did enjoy is that they wove the original stuff that came with the original game into that.
Yeah.
So you can still do the original stories as you're doing all this new stuff. Right. And now they're factions. Yeah, it's I could talk about that far too long.
Awesome. All right, so Tet, what have you been up to in and out of game besides building?
Still trying to kill N'Zoth on normal with Furt. We're close. We can get him to the 70% break point. Now it's surviving the 70 down without losing people going insane too fast. Like, you're going to go insane. You want to go insane, but at a certain point. So hopefully we'll get some more attempts on that. Caesari got her new system built.
Yes.
Very similar to the stuff that I built for you. So she may be in there tonight raiding with us.
Nice.
I too took a break from Final Fantasy XIV to go back to WoW because I realized, looking at the covenants for the upcoming expansion, I didn't have a good character to go into Bastion. I had my druid who's going into Ardenweld, and I have my warlock and my warrior who are going into Revendreth and Maldraxxus, but I didn't have anyone for Bastion. That's typically, in my brain, for my character stories, either a priest or a paladin.
I'd say paladin.
Yeah, priest or paladin. So my priest was at 113 Friday. She's now 120 and has an item level of like 403, I think, just from going through it and doing everything, getting the necklace up to 50 and getting the benthic gear and all that. So she's ready to go for when that expansion hits. And then I'm going to dip back into Final Fantasy XIV and continue working. I got my machinist up to 60 because I was using my machinist and my dancer to run the roulettes to get the poetics type of currency for Final Fantasy XIV, to get the Ironworks gear sets for my healers that were coming up to be level 50. And then I finished out all those sets. So now I'm using them to run and do the same thing for the poetics for level 60. So collecting all those. And I completely ran out of space in my closet again. So yeah.
I understand, hon.
Yep. So gotta do a little cleanup. But
I understand this. I can relate.
Anything we've just covered is completely foreign to you, but you'd like to know how it's going to make sense, why don't we look at this week's news, and then we'll get with Fezgig and Marcus, and they can explain how to start on all these games.
Transition.
All right.
AIE News.
All right. In community news, we have your mandatory fun night event calendar. Remember, where the fun is mandatory, but the attendance, of course, is not. Right now, in STO, we have their mandatory fun night that is just starting. And Monday, we have Guild Wars 2 at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, SOTOR at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock max time. Tuesday, Final Fantasy XIV casual rating is at 9:30 Eastern. Wednesday, Final Fantasy Fun Night is at 9 o'clock Eastern. God, you guys are busy. Thursday, Final Fantasy XIV progression rating is at 9:30 Eastern. Friday, ESO, we have 9 o'clock Eastern. Friday, late night fun night for Final Fantasy XIV, which is at 11 o'clock Eastern. Saturday, we have Lord of the Rings Online at 8:30 Eastern. And then once you're done with that, go over to Noob at 11 o'clock Eastern. And Saturday, we have Final Fantasy Maps at 9:30 Eastern.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, one of these games just seems to spread out a little bit. And, over in Streaming in Guild podcast news, the Escape podcast 342, what Seema does in the shadows. This week we find out what Cedo does in those shadows, which mostly consists of super fast stealth heroics. Stealth heroics, interesting. Yep. Then a week before that, in podcast 341, CZ the Day. I see what they did there.
Awesome.
This week they walk through some speedrun tips to get all the weekly conquest from CZ 198 in about 10 minutes. That's quite the speedrun.
Yep.
And then in some podcast I've never heard of, Working Class Nerds. Yeah. Wow, 75 episodes. They just snuck 75 episodes through. AIE's Where to Start event. That sounds familiar. Marcus and Nick chat with fellow AIE officer Fez Gig. That's a familiar name.
Why have I heard that name before?
Wow.
They're talking about the Where to Start event coming up on June 27th and 28th. The event's goal is to walk new players through getting started in the guild's favorite games. Listen in for details.
Just listen further in the show, too.
That too, yeah.
Going over that.
All right. In Nomads news, Destiny 2, the new expansion Beyond Light, arrives on the 22nd of September. There is no Destiny 3 soon. Instead, the devs will be transforming Destiny 2. You can read more about it, Building a Viable Future in Destiny 2 at Bungie's website. There's the Destiny buzz, to be sure. Restructure of game content is coming to fix some of the progression issues and better structure the game for future expansions. The AIE Destiny crew is excited in general, and a handful of people have jumped back in recent days and are checking out gear updates. If anyone is interested, please jump in the Destiny channel and say hi. The clan is still open for invites as well. There are roughly 90 accounts in there, but they can make room as needed.
And a quick note about that is the reason why that's so interesting is and why there may not be a Destiny 3 soon. It almost feels like they're kind of merging it back into just a Destiny blob because of the way they're talking about it. They want to retire a lot of the older Destiny 2 content and roll it into their Destiny vault that you can still go back and play, but that's going to include Destiny 1 stuff. So they're kind of making this weird, like, here's your hot, fresh Destiny, and here's your,
retired
stale.
Destiny.
Yeah. But they're then going to bring that stuff back in from time to time, saying it's been gone long enough. Let's bring it back up and heat it back up and get some leftovers on the stove. But then they're going to have new stuff come in for Destiny 2, and then push out older stuff into the the vault. Right. So it's like they're just making this weird kind of blob where they're moving stuff back and forth, and you can still play the old stuff if you go to the vault section. Right. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting.
Isn't that just what all of our MMOs do? They make one game and they ride it out for years. I mean,
yeah,
and that's kind of what they're supposed to be doing anyway. They're essentially a FPS MMO,
right?
Yeah.
So
cool. All right. In Diablo 3 news, the PTR has ended. Patch 2.6.9 should be live soon. And in Division 2 news, Title Update 10 is due on the 16th of June. 2 days, people, 2 days. More details at Ubisoft's website. The Season 2 will start on the 23rd of June with the new raid on the 30th of June.
Awesome. All right. And in WoW retail news, New Braid is still running 2 groups every Saturday night. They generally get 5 out of 10 bosses down. And the last New Braid, they killed Rawden for the very first time. Special thanks to Gajora for being the tactician, and Sai for leading New Braid Alpha since Dan Kinia leaves being in 2 raids at once to Gajora.
Yep.
G. J.
Or Gojira or Gijora or whatever
G.
other.
That's why G just works. You just the base level. Yep.
And going back in time into WoW Classic, scoop out a little time from your schedule and level up with everyone in WoW Classic. Whether you're just starting out and sprinkling through the starter quests or adding the cherry on the top with a max of level 60. Ooh, level 60, that's tough. Everyone is invited to join for old-fashioned social hour game, and they'll be doing so in Discord. Vanilla Sunday Fridays begin this Sunday, June 21st. That's a week from today. Yep. At 2 p.m. server time, and will then continue every Sunday after. If you're a part of AIE and WoW Classic and are interested in raiding with our friends from the United Ogrimmar on Sunday evenings, please contact Chrissy or Dead Crumpet. Yep. They can answer any questions you might have about raiding, attunement, or gearing up in general. They have 8 AIE guildies that raid with United Ogrimmar and are taking on Molten Core.
Excellent.
I can tell you I'm really looking forward to World of Warcraft's new expansion, because they're going to do something to get me to play, which is lower the main level cap to 50.
Yeah.
I've tried to play and I've gotten, and it feels so daunting when you're level 10 and you have 110 levels to go and you're like, I'm never going to make it. It's never going to happen.
If it takes the exact same time and it's like people are hitting 1 to 50 on the PTR. They're like speed running it in 4 hours, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you're right. Just the mental math of I've got to get a character from 1 to 120 versus I got to get 1 to 50. 1 to 50 is Star Wars. That's like the original class storyline. You're done. Yeah.
Yes. And it's so doable. And you'll be able to, I'm sorry, I'm really excited about this for WoW because I really want to raid in WoW. I love it. I love progression raiding in Star Wars. And from everything that everybody tells me, it's Star Wars raiding stepped up 1 notch or 2 or 3. And the progression part is even more fun, and something about lockouts I'm going to love. Anyway.
That's going to make you a little bummed that Star Wars doesn't have it. But speaking of Star Wars, Marcus.
Well, things are ticking along in SWTOR this month. Ops teams are opsing. MFN is MFNing. Mega continues to mega. And Friday night Master Mode flashpoints are hitting its stride. June Mega will be extra special this month, as it's going to be a part of the AIE Where to Start event. More details to come. Near the end of the month, we will be getting the All Worlds Ultimate Swoop Rally. This event will take place on multiple planets and will include rewards of new mounts, outfits, titles, and pets. So Simo will like that.
Yeah.
And in this racing event, you will have to impress the crowds, blow up things, and avoid snares.
Yep.
Sounds very Eve.
Yeah. I don't even know. And we are not so patiently waiting for the word from BioWare about when the Nar Shaddaa nightlife will return. And I guarantee you, it'll be over and it's going to be Christmas, and Max is still going to think it's going on or wonder when it's going to end. It's likely that it'll be in July, fingers crossed, since we got a chance to see it on the PTS public test server. We all know that there are new missions and new rewards to achieve. And if you want to come play, get a hold of one of us in the Discord.
All right. And in ESO news, Greymore is awesome, and the Antiquity system is still fun. The past few MFNs have been focused on the new zone, and New Friday MFN they'll group up and run the 2 new public dungeons. As part of the Antiquity system, in addition to treasure you can sell for gold and furnishing, you can get the very cool looking Ebon Dwarven Wolf mount. The mount requires 17 different pieces, and the lead for each piece drops in a very specific location. Throughout the last week, people have been grouping up in Discord to farm the leads together. So if you're after that mount, feel free to request help in Discord or guild chat, or watch others to say where they are going to be doing their farming runs.
Then over in Final Fantasy XIV, Map Night continues every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Come help everyone look for lost treasure and explore the depths of Final Fantasy's treasure dungeons. Send Kelsey a message if you want more information. I know that last night they were doing, I believe they're doing the level 70 stuff, and that seemed to go over pretty well. Yeah. I unfortunately logged in right as they were saying, "Okay, that was a great night. Good night, everyone." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
But yeah, they're starting to experiment with doing 70s every now and then. I think I saw Kelsier was saying you wanted to do it like maybe once a month, do the 70s.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Goblin, the server that AIE is on, remains the only server in the Crystal Data Center in the preferred status. That means that you will get the Road to 70 buff, giving you ridiculous XP bonus as you level a new character to level 70 on any of the jobs. And that's that. And the emphasis is new character. Like you have to be creating it as the server's preferred. Create that new character, then that character has the buff. You can't go to an existing character and then
right
as that works. The next patch will be dropping soon, which will be patch 5.3. There's still not an exact date yet, but mid-July is the current estimate. This patch will include the streamlining of the ARR quest line. In the meantime, the super helpful AIE membership will be happy to help new players through the quest lines and dungeons, even MSQ.
Yep.
Fun nights are a great night to get this help, but there are helpful members online at all hours now to assist newer folks through the main story quest line. In raid news, there is a proposed schedule change to the NOD Noobs on Demand raid team. The poll is up on the raid Discord. If you don't have access to it or want to join or even start up your own team, ask Abovan or Duris for assistance. And remember, you do not need to be an officer in any capacity to organize your own raid team in AIE.
Absolutely. In Lord of the Rings Online 9, fun was had in Monster Play last night. Look out for it to hit a regular rotation in the Saturday night Lotro lineup. There's a lot that's being planned in the near future. Stay tuned to the Lotro channel for what is coming. And also, just in case you need to know, SNN will be canceled on June 27th to keep the focus on the streaming event, which we will talk about shortly. Almost through the news.
Yes. And an STO, the Fleet Night is going well. They meet weekly at 8:30 Eastern. I'm assuming that's on Sundays. All are welcome. Fleet holdings are progressing. They're still working on both Spire and Embassy projects. There's currently an event campaign running, the no-win scenario. This is the work towards getting the free Tier 6 ship or 1,000 Lobby crystals. And with that news dump, let's get back to our good friends Marcus and Fezgig, and they can tell us all about the AIE Where to Start event. Hey, guys.
All you, Fez.
Oh, yes.
Guys, we're super excited. Marcus and I have been working on this, and it's not just us; it's all of the AIE officers of each of the different teams that are contributing their time to put this event together. It really, just to boil it down, it's a if you want to know something about a game or learn a little bit about a game that you've heard about, we talk a lot about acronyms here. ESO and Guild Wars 2 and all these other games. If you're interested in learning about that game, to jump right in and start playing, what better way to do that than to have somebody who loves, understands, really knows the game well, is passionate about it, to guide you through how to get started. So the event that we're having is going to be 2.5 days. Starts Friday night on the 26th, June 26th. But then also trickles into Saturday. We've got some time slots. The schedule will be listed, but guys, I'm super pumped about this project. I personally have downloaded some games that I've never thought about playing before, and really excited to have somebody walk me through how to no longer be a noob to jump into it. So the schedule's there. If you're listening to this podcast and you're not an AI Guild member, or you're not playing the games, come join us anyway. You don't have to be a member to come and watch these events. Basically, what we're going to be doing is these game instructors are going to be jumping into the game, walking you through navigation. We'll be streaming it so you can kind of watch. You can ask questions. I think that's really cool. So you'll have these folks that are know the game inside and out to kind of give you the play-by-play on what you can do, what to watch out for, what kind of tips, tools, some things that maybe, hey, if you love the Ranger class, you probably don't want to roll a warrior in WoW.
Right.
Things exactly. Or if you don't like dying a lot, don't play a clothy, or
There you go.
yeah, exactly. And then for heaven's sakes, when you log in, turn on auto loot so you don't end up having to hit click to loot on things. So little things like that
Right.
Most people don't have to kind of stumble into it or ask. We're going to walk you through those things. And so I'll pause for a second because I am super jazzed about this, and let Marcus share a little bit about how this came about.
Please.
So the officers have a meeting once a month, and we discuss what's going on in the guild. And when we were doing that, Fez and I were messaging each other back and forth because we were talking about all these games, and I was like, I want to play all these games, but I never have time to play all these games. Or it's really hard to just get into a new MMO.
Right.
Because you're married to the one you really play. And you may have alts that you play in other ones, but it's really hard to divert from it. And what I have found myself doing is watching people play other games. So we were talking and I was like, well, let's do it. We'll do blocks starting Friday night and go all the way through the weekend, 2 hours. If you want to play the game, you can come in. I'll use SOTOR as an example. We're going to create all Marauders. So if it's the best class in the game, you get 2 lightsabers. It's the best. So we're all going to create a Marauder, and I'm going to walk you through the opening planet, talk to you about the class. We're going to talk to you about getting in the guild, what the guild perks do, because it does give you an experience boost. I'm sure all of the games do the same thing, but we're basically going to teach you in 2 hours how to create your character, get you on the planet, show you a couple missions to be able to get you in the flow. Like Fez was saying about the whole auto loot thing, it's an awesome mechanic. Just like there's an auto run that is automatically used in SOTOR. I'm going to show you how to shut that off, because I just find myself clicking it too much and I run off stuff. Anyway, so when is the question? Friday, June 26th, Saturday, June 27th, and Sunday, June 28th. All your cost for this whole thing is hard drive space.
Yeah.
Most of the games are free. I think there's only one, which is Elder Scrolls Online, which you have to buy. But we're going to be Dan Kinia is going to be the kickoff.
The Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, I like that. She's going to be the Kickstarter to the event, and she's going to be hosting the ESO MFN. So basically, they're going to be doing their MFN thing. I think they're going to be doing the character creation thing, but at the same time, it gives people, if you want to buy it and play it, great. If not, you can just sit back and watch in the Discord, because we'll be streaming on Twitch and in the Discord. So you'll have an opportunity to see it no matter where you are. And then right following the mandatory fun night is going to be our guild town hall, which Tet, can you explain to everybody what the town hall is?
Yeah, the town hall is basically we do our get together to get the community together and let them know what AIE is about, all the games we're involved in, little bit of a show and tell, like here's the not necessarily officers, but like here's some of the leaders that show the games off, or you can contact if you have questions about the games, are interested in the game, and also go a little bit behind the scenes on some of the mechanics, like Umami recently went away and we're doing invites differently, that sort of thing. So there'll be a little bit of technical, how the guild works kind of stuff, but it's just a good time to get everyone together for an event and go over what we're doing as a community. Kind of like we do here every 2 weeks, but on a bigger scale.
Right.
And all at once.
Yep.
Fez, you want to talk about Saturday and Sunday? How the fun continues?
Sure. So Saturday we've got a WoW Alliance side. I'll be hosting that one from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Guild Wars 2 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Dej or Corley. I'm not sure who we've got nailed down for that one. SOTOR 8 to 10 with Marcus. And I'm excited about that. I'm gonna join that because I've downloaded the game and I have created a character and I wanna watch and heckle Marcus. So come heckle us. Division 2 from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. midnight. Last on Saturday. How about Sunday, Marcus?
So on Sunday, Mal is going to be doing his Lord of the Rings online. We're going to create a character. He has not said what character we're going to create yet. But so basically everybody's going to create the same thing so we can walk everybody through the intro areas. Then Sai is going to be doing Horde side, right, from 4 to 6 p.m. And then Abavan has got, we told him he has 2 hours, and he's like, I don't know how I'm going to fit all of this stuff into 2 hours.
That's not possible.
He can't make things short.
Well, he's thinking about pre-recording some of it so he can edit it down.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, which is great. I mean, he loves this game. He's very excited about it. He loves to share the enthusiasm, but there's a lot.
And so he's going to be handling Final Fantasy 14, and then Dent is going to be doing STO from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to close out the event. The best part for this event is it's going to bring all of us together. We talk about being together. We talk about the community, but there has never been, as far as I know, a weekend where we showcase every single game or major game we play.
Well, I mean, we do it like during the Summer of Love, we'll try to do events in different games, but this is nice, compact, and it kind of gets you ready since it is such a huge time to be playing.
Right, and I don't know who said it in the meeting we were in, but it was like all these cons are getting canceled.
Right,
all of them.
Yeah,
and because of it, let's do something fun to kind of bring everybody together, even though E3 is canceled and BlizzCon is canceled and Star Wars Celebration will be canceled most likely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we know that not everybody can make all of those time slots. So if you're not able to make the event, no problem. We're going to be recording these sessions and posting them for on-demand view if you need to. If you have kids that you would like to watch, no problem. The AIE community works very hard to maintain a family-friendly environment, and we welcome all ages to come and participate. I know my youngest will be helping me in the starter zone in WoW just so I can interact with somebody and do some things. And Marcus, my wife, is downloading SWTOR, so they will be coming and they'll be playing along with me. So it'll be a family event. So please do come and enjoy. And if you just want to come and, I hate the word lurk, but if you just want to come and just watch, listen, there's no harm in doing that. Please do so.
Hey, lurk is not a dirty word on Twitch.
Nope.
Yeah, honestly, that's makes it easy.
Yeah. It's going to be so much fun to do. And Kenny said she's going to do a character creation as well and start at the beginning, and she'll join the group. So we'll all be, if you want to join and create a character, which I do have ESO. So I'm going to create a new character to try to learn how to play it. Does anybody know in WoW, do they have mods?
Oh yeah,
in WoW?
They do, and I can't. I was telling Marcus on the Working Class Nerds podcast, he and Nick, I was telling him, can't wait to strip out all of my add-ons and just log in all natural and see the game really from the beginning again, and just say, hey, this is what unmodded game looks like.
It's funny you say that, but I've actually been itching because of my kind of getting back into WoW. As I want to actually start over because I have this fun little bug where the first time I log into WoW every night, it logs me out. Then I
that's not great.
Yeah.
No, and I've done everything that they've told me to possibly do. So I'm thinking maybe I just reinstall all of WoW. You know how they say, F to format reinstall. Yeah. Well, I want to start from scratch for my mods too. Like I'm going to keep my list of mods, but like I'm not going to just copy the settings over. I want to actually start from scratch and just add stuff to it and try to get that way. And I think that might be kind of interesting. I almost wonder if that's worth even recording and going over.
Well,
so it's
what I've found playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14, which doesn't have mods. The only thing you can do is rearrange your HUD. So rearrange how everything's laid out. If you don't like the map up here, you can move it down to the center and put your hotbar where you want. Kind of same thing you can in SWTOR. But when I got back into WoW, I got hit with information overload. Like, I'm looking at the mods I'm running while leveling up and going, you know what? At this point, I really don't care about which rares are up because I'm not max level looking for them. They're not part of the questing thing. So get rid of that. I don't care. My main character has all the factions at Exalted, so I don't need a more detailed faction tracker because I was using something called Faction Addict, and it would take over the XP bar at the bottom of the screen and replace it with whatever reputation you just leveled up to let you know how far it was. Well, if you're leveling, then you can't see how much XP you need to the next level. So it was like, okay, that goes out the one. And I was just like disabling add-on after add-on after add-on until I was getting it pretty much down to a basic, a quest tracker, inventory management, because you need something for inventory management, and then the modification of the bars and Greenwall to talk to all the guilds. So it really stripped it down, and I think that's having come from Final Fantasy XIV, where you don't have all those mods. It really makes you look at what do you actually need in WoW to play. So.
Well, I'm sorry you've seen the joke screen about how a WoW raider plays.
Yeah,
and it's like their entire screen. And, they have like this little tiny square in the center where you can kind of see their character, but then everything else is taken by all the things that are pulsing and
the add-ons and the mods and the warnings and the.
Yeah, and I kind of feel that way too, and I have a 49-inch widescreen here.
Holy crap!
And it still feels like it's too crowded. So
your screen's almost as big as I am.
Yeah, actually, if I
you have to take a picture of that.
It's 4'1", so yeah.
Yeah.
I could just.
I'm dizzy.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God! It's like 3 screens all at once.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a control station.
It is.
Yeah, it's technically 2 screens. Like if you can actually tell it to cut it in half if you want, but then it would be seamless too. So, but yeah, that's my view, and that's where the important stuff is over there. Yeah.
Lord. I gotta get one of those.
And then I'm not even using that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're showing off.
Yeah.
And then I have the. I wanted to show this off when you were talking about gaming laptops, so I have that whole thing waiting as well. Best gaming laptop I've ever had has always been a Mac for some strange reason.
Wow. Very cool.
But yeah,
that's even with screen.
Yeah, even with a screen that big, it still feels claustrophobic with all the WoW add-ons, and I kind of just want to wipe it all out and start over.
I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you don't
new
have
world problems.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. All right.
Hey, Tetsemi, last thing. We're going to be cataloging those that already have Twitch streaming channels that they've been doing for games, and so we'll post those in Discord.
Yep.
So people can kind of join and follow other people. This is an event that we're going to do over a weekend, but there are other people who continue to share the game every day that you can hop in and kind of watch them play as well.
Yeah, so if we have any people that are do streaming, go ahead and make sure they contact you. What probably the best way is via Discord.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Yep.
Yeah. So go ahead and find Fezgig in Discord. Say, hey, here's my stream. Here's when I do it. So that way we can kind of make that catalog to make this something that goes beyond just that weekend.
Yeah. Keep your eye in the if you look in the main AIE Discord channel. There's an events channel right at the very top under the community section. Probably everything's going to be kept track there. So any updates and things like that, just keep your eye on that events channel, and we'll get the schedule pinned in there and let you know what's going on.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
So much fun.
No, I almost wish we could have gotten Fallout into that as well.
Yeah.
Wait. Did you just sign up? I think you
for
just.
auditioning.
It would have to be the late night stuff. Like I would gladly
that's
take
perfect.
the after midnight shift just to show off because
we could do 10 p.m. to midnight is open.
Well, no, the Saturday night, the midnight on, I think would be the best for me.
Let's do it late night with you.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I would love to show off the new player experience. So it's a lot of fun.
Excellent. All right.
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Sounds
Just
good to me.
scheduling it live.
Exactly.
All right. Any more news that we want to share before we wrap stuff up?
Oh,
I think that's it. Speaking of Twitch and hosting, just a reminder, if you go all the way down on Discord to where we're at, right above us, the channel right above us is content creators. If you're a Twitch streamer, if you're playing a game with AIE, you're playing a single player game, feel free to put your channel in there, get followers, that sort of thing. That is for the AIE community. Put your stuff out there so we can see it. There's a lot of people that use it, and we love having people in there.
Great. Thanks for that reminder. All right. I think that's our show for tonight. While the chat rooms begin suggesting titles, though I threw Kaz is already in there, which may have been a comment, not a title, but I like it a lot. Guys, Best Gig, Marcus, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for all your work on this event.
Thank you.
It's going to be an amazing weekend for everybody. So where can we find the two of you out and about?
Right there.
You can find FezGig on Twitter at FezGig1.
And I'm on Twitter at MarcusB814. You can find the podcast at workingclassnerds.com. And you can find me on Twitch. I stream 3 days a week, usually Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, but the CPU cooking kind of deterred that these last 2 weeks. I'm hoping after the show my computer turns on and I can start doing something again.
Awesome.
So at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
All right. Ending engaged. If you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. I am at the Mew Cow. Yeah, which I see is
one second.
Yeah. I can do. We're doing it live, and Makala is at Cyberwave. Tetsemi is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us at the website aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream. And our Discord server for chat is at aie-guild.info/discord. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul on Twitter or visit his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
And now it's time to play all of the great AIE member segments we received this week, including... Well, rumor has it there are a couple podcasts, a couple segments coming back from hiatus soon. So hopefully we'll have from next week. Again, if you have a segment, try and keep them under 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes is good. Send them in, reach out in Discord. We'll tell you how to get it to us. Love to play them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. And next week we'll be talking to Mailung and next time, not next week. That's Father's Day. We're not podcasting next week.
Nope.
We'll be talking to Mailung and Lord of the Rings Online. So until then, AIE, this is Makala.
This is Mew Cow.
This is Tetsemi.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Dun dun.
Yay!
And this is me changing whatever I did in the friggin' template that messed up all of our
Wow,
names.
that
Oh
was
my
bad.
God.
I noticed that. Was it that you weren't using capitalization or something? Because I think you did capitalization differently. And that's how you did
when
it?
I went to do the I messed up the template the other day. So when I went to fix it, I was replacing some stuff, and that is what happened.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
I love because it said that Mew was at the Tetsemi, and then Tetsemi was at Cyberwave, and then Cyberwave is at Makala is at Ivory Tiger. It's like all over the place.
Yeah, no, nobody was correct.
Yeah.
Okay, Marcus, I know you guys get a pick, but Cook Serve Motherboard has to be one of the best titles. You need to use that in Working Class Nerds.
I will.
Cook Serve
It's,
Motherboard.
Well, go ahead.
So the question I had for you is, did you check to see that there was an internal temperature of 165 when it was done for food safety?
Yeah.
I'll see when I take all the stuff out of my truck. I'll see if because my old processor was the 8700K.
Right.
I'll see if I can get a picture of it at a good angle to where you can see. There's like a spot where you can tell it's like burnt.
Oh,
Nice.
all
Yeah,
right.
it's
So you and
brutal.
Fez get a pick. So what show?
It's all Fez. Fez is my hero.
I love it. Cook, serve, motherboard, guys. I think
All right.
that's
It's
awesome.
good. It's good.
Cook, serve, motherboard. AIE. Where to start? Anyway.
Huh?
All right.
That is not good eats, people.
No. Fez cooking.
Hey, as long as the internal temperature gets to 165, you're good. It's fine.
It depends on the meat, though, because some you actually
That's
want
true.
it less than that. So
That's
only
very
if
true.
that's pretty much only for poultry.
Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of poultry or shrimp in this case.
We're having shrimp.
know.
Yes. Yes. That just quits very quickly pan fried.
I know. All right. Thank you, chat room. Marcus,
Thank you, guys.
Fez
You're
Gang, Thank you so
wonderful.
much.
Nevermore. I love seeing your face virtually.
Yep. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream somehow. Cutting it. Bye.